I think I'm on.
I hope you are. I don't know if my commercial was on, though. So we'll have to see.
It was on the big screen over there, so it looks like we're on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So we'll get a report from them.
We got a report that says the commercial has got sound? Yes.
So okay, good. All right.
We're working out there.
I'm good.
All right. All is good. Welcome, everybody, to Three Borders Sports Network and the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications and Cable Channel 125. Thanks to you for watching on Red River Communications Cable 125. And we're also brought to you by the City Brew here in downtown Wapaton, right on 4th Street and 2nd Avenue North in Wapaton here. High above the dining area. Nice crowd down below us here. I'm Joe Schreiner, Brian Watson.
Just ignore me.
You got everything going on there?
I think so. I'm going to check a couple things when you guys are in your own shot. So
he's juggling.
We'll see what happens here.
We'll let him off. All right, we want to thank everybody for joining us again here tonight. And I got to just give a quick plug here for the City Brew. Tomorrow is February 9th. It's Giving Hearts Day, and a big day here around the community. A portion of the proceeds here tomorrow at City Brew will be going to the Richland Wilkin Humane Society. So if you come here tomorrow for drinks or eats, some of that proceeds will be going to the Richland Wilkin County Humane Society. Then on the 14th, of course, Valentine's Day. You guys are busy on Valentine's Day, but you can check for the menu and more details on the Facebook page for City Brew. And then on the 16th, live music with Brianna Helbling, and that'll be from 7 to 10. And then on February 17th, Glow Bingo at 7:30. Check the Facebook page for more details. So that's going to be what's upcoming here at the City Brew. All right, we'll get down to business, I think. Good to go? All right. We are now joined by head coach of the Huskies basketball squad. That is none other than Jeff Ralph. Jeff, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, Joe, I think I like the jazzy kind of music better.
You like
the old Three Borders.
Yeah, get him all warmed up again.
Don't start with that because it won't make you sound like a robot again.
Yeah, the music was probably better, but yeah, we sounded like Donald Duck there for a while until we switched that all out. But so there's something wrong with that one. But thanks for the comment, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right, Jeff, let's go back here last week, Friday. We go back. It was a home loss against Shanley, but boy, I'll tell you what, I was very impressed here. And without looking at the scoring line, and you look just at the stat line, I would have thought you guys won. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I thought we played really well in the game. Rough start again. I think it's kind of our calling card. We start out in the hole and get back, and we didn't end the half very well. It was I think it was a 2-point game, 3-point game, 23-26, 3 minutes to go, and we end the half. They go on a 12-3 run, and we're ending up down 12 at half. But we battled. We actually outscored them in the second half.
Yep.
The boys didn't quit. I thought we had some things we had to work on, some things we had to get done, and when it was maybe 14 points or whatever, it's like, hey, we got time. If we get a turnover and hit a three, and I think the boys really battled that last 3 minutes of the second half and gave us a chance, and that's kind of Coach Jamie's been saying, boys, just keep battling, and it's gonna turn out good for us here sometime. And I think we did that. The kids just kept going at it, and really their best players played normally, but they had one kid who just and all credit to Cade Chrisman.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got him highlighted here in my...
Yeah, I mean, he was a kid we were going to leave. We were going to make him beat us, and they found him, and he scored. And, he's made 2 threes this year. He made one in early January against us. He made one, last Friday night. And, credit to him for doing that. But it was, we felt like we had to give something up because they have so much size inside. Hakeem is really good.
Yep.
Everybody talks about Connor Kraft, and he's a fantastic player.
He is what he is, yeah.
But you take Hakeem out of there, and Connor Kraft's easier to guard because now you can devote more dudes to him. And I thought we, for the most part, did what we had to do, but there were some times where we just didn't rebound well enough. And when Hakeem shoots it and misses it, he's probably going to get his own rebound, and that happened a few times. And I think we could have shut that down a little bit. Maybe kept him away from the basket a little better. Maybe could have been a little different outcome, but the boys battled, and I'm proud of them for that.
I believe that's correct in your assumption there. And then Hakeem there, he He had 14 rebounds here, according to the stats that I have, and I think 8 defensive and 6 offensive. But the young man comes in with I think he was shooting 61% from the field, if I remember correctly, number 1 in EDC or something.
Yeah, he's up there.
And he's there wiping up the boards, and that's what he does, and that's where he gets his 61%. So he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, that's right. You get a good shooting percentage when you're around the hoop and you put it in, and the offensive rebound.
Yep. Had a nose for the ball.
Fantastic athlete, and that's where we maybe give up a little bit of size with that, but our kids did what they could.
Yep.
They go 19, 19, 17, 10. We have Hawk with 22. He was 6 of 12 from 3, which is fantastic. Ethan had 11 points and 9 boards. Trey Mauk had 11, had 5 boards, 5 assists. Really a good stat line for Trey with 2 steals.
Right.
I thought did a nice job defensively for us. Jaden King, again, we're just getting more from Jaden all the time. And 9 points again. Caden Kappas had 8, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. I mean, those 2 guards really did a job defensively, I thought, on their guys. And then we had Braden Steffens played, Clutie played, and Riley played. And, I think gave what they had in situations, but minutes were really limited, I think, for Clutie and Riley that night, just based upon who we were playing and then how well Ethan and Jaden rebounded the ball. But, all in all, I thought we played well. If we play that like that in a couple other games this year, maybe we get a win. So, that's what we're taking from that. We just want to keep getting better.
And if you see them in the EDC, I mean, you've got a good chance there at possibly facing them again sometime here, and I think you can play with them. I guess that's my final thought on that. So.
Yeah, I do. They wouldn't be an ideal matchup for us, but they're a team that we'll obviously do a better job in Chrisman next time. We've kind of tested him, and he's shown what he can do, but we'll play it a little more straight up, and we get that 17 down to 7 now that 10-point game is even. So I agree with you. I think we're right there with that team.
All right, so then last night you were up at North, and I'll tell you what, for the number 2 team in the EDC, we're sitting at 13-3 right now in the EDC. You've handled them very well twice, and could have been 2 wins for you guys. The first time was an overtime loss, unfortunately, but the second time you matched up well with them again and took them to the brink. Yeah,
and the game last night was a tale of runs, and I believe. I don't know if it's 13-0 to start the game or 11-0 or whatever. And, I don't know if the parents probably think I'm crazy. I'm just sitting there. I'm not calling timeout. It's like, well, we do this all the time. So, but, we battled through that, and then we come back and, probably get it 16-16 or whatever. And then pretty soon it's 31-16. And then we close the half and actually take the lead 32-31. And, Caden Kappas was fantastic in the game, offensively, defensively, getting the ball to the guys that needed it, and getting stops when he needed to, and hit a huge 3 at the horn to put us up 1 at half, and really just kind of kept our momentum going a little bit. We had some momentum at an earlier point, and then it got away from us. We turned it over about 3 straight times, and Jeremiah Sem just went down and destroyed the rim 3 times. But then, we just battled right back to where we were again. And I think, the credit to the kids, doggone if we'd quit giving up that huge run, we'll put ourselves in a better position. But you know what, to take the lead at half and have them scratching their heads, because they really were. They, I think they were almost into garbage time mode, where they were just kind of screwing around, and pretty soon, we're right there back again. And it happened defensively, and it happened on the glass, and the job that Ethan did on the glass last night was just amazing.
Mr. Windex.
Right.
Cleaning the glass.
12 points, had 19 boards. Huddle had him for 21. I went through and looked, and a couple of them, I think, were the wrong guy, but 19 rebounds is a lot of rebounds, and that was huge for us. And then it was just a matter of who's going to get some offense, and Jaden King with points was big. We thought we could isolate him a little bit and get him some stuff on, maybe on Haugo, and that Keach Bior, that 6'10" getter, or he's like, arms are like a 7'5" guy. So, but I think Jaden did a great job with him and had a couple pokeaways and got some steals and easy buckets. And, he was big for us offensively. You think about our two big scorers, which are Ethan and Caden Hockert, and, they weren't really scoring the basketball. Hawk had a tough night, and, Jaden came through with 15 points for us. Like I said, Ethan with 12 and 19 boards. Then Caden Kappas with 12 points, 3 assists, 1 turnover on the night with actually, I believe one of the best defenders in the league if he'd play defense all the time, Jeremiah Sem. What a great night for him. Hawk had 8, but had a tough night shooting. Trayton Mauk had 6. Braden off the bench, kid does another step through on that Keach Bjork kid, the 6'8" kid. It was funny, he did the move perfectly, got him up in the air and went, well, the guy's arms are so long he could still block it when he was by him. but that Coach Caveney again said, he's just battling. He's not afraid. He's going after him. And you know what? He played significant minutes and minutes where he needed to make plays, and he did for us. And
good for him.
Good minutes for him. And then I really thought Riley Timian last night.
I was impressed with his line here, too.
He really had a good game for us. If he didn't get the offensive rebound, he took it away from a North kid who had it, or he poked it away, and he had a couple. And our first possession in the second half, we rotated the ball to him with just a few seconds left, shot faked a kid, got to the rim, shot faked again, and then dumped it to Ethan. And, Riley was just full of energy last night, and he's a good rebounder, and he really did that for us. Yeah, had 6 boards and 4 points, and I couldn't be happier with how he played. Was just physical when we need him to be. And, he ended up matched up on Zeller on one play, and your option is to stand behind him and surrender, or to shove him out of there, and he shoved him out of there and kept him away, and that's what he had to do. And the kids battled, and I personally, for me, the loss last night hurt me because I thought our kids gave everything they had in that game, and they always do. But last night I felt like we were right there, and we just didn't get it done. And the disappointment on their faces when they knew they had a chance for that ball game was really tough. But you know what? Then that's some resolve for us going forward and going to Friday night. Central's one of the better teams in the league too, but I feel like Fargo North is one of the best teams in the state, and we've played with them. And if we bring that level to the game on Friday night with Central, they're playing phenomenally. I can't believe how well they're playing. But if we bring that level to the game, I feel like good things are going to happen for us on Friday.
Central comes in at 10-8 in EDC, sitting in about 6th spot there. So they're right now that's about where they are. It was a loss up there. When you went up there, it was 59-37 loss. So things are going to change. The boys are playing better here later in the season.
We go up there right before Christmas break, and we hadn't played for 2 weeks. It took us, we made 11 baskets in the game. We probably should have just went home at halftime. We didn't do anything in the game to try win the game. We couldn't make a basket. We got to the free throw line. Actually made more free throws in the game than we did field goals. But when, you just can't win doing that.
Right.
And to hold them under 60, which is what you need to do defensively, then you got a chance to win. That's something we'll be looking at, doing on Friday night. We certainly feel good about it. We played so terribly the first time. We'll give them the credit that they caused it, but we feel like we're going to play a lot better Friday night. And it is our parents' night, too. We'll recognize all our parents of all our players, on all 4 squads prior to the varsity games. Probably about 7 o'clock or so. We'll call them all down, and everybody will get out on the floor and get recognized for their support of our program this year. It's
always a cool moment there, and, of course, the parents support the programs very well, both programs. BW, want to enter the conversation here again. We've got Ned Cluten coming on here in a little bit, but just quickly here between you guys, the three-class system, basketball system in North Dakota was approved today, 8-2, I believe.
8-2, yeah.
And
I can't believe it. I don't know how's the WDA going to have enough games next year. They might have to back off to 16 games because that's all the games they'll have. There's no way they're going to be able to find any games. I can't believe it passed.
I'm not going to mess with that. I'll let you do. You've been doing this longer than me. And you're a North Dakota kid, so I guess for me, the question to you would be, what's your feeling being an old Class B'er?
I don't think it diminishes. I think it restores Class B basketball.
I agree, 100%.
Because I'm a Grenora kid,
Yep.
and we had 13 kids in my class, and one of them was from Brazil. So, but we were a Class B school. You know,
Right.
we were Class B.
Right.
I feel like some of these schools with 275. You know, we play Watford City all the time. We hated Watford City.
Yeah.
You know, we had 40 kids in high school. They had 275.
Right.
We didn't think it was fair.
Right. Right.
You know, and now I think that balance is restored,
Yep.
and I think the balance at the top is kind of set too. Where, you know what, the Fargo South and Wapaton at one point, that was a tough game for Wapaton.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You know,
especially on the girl side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now that's changed.
Yeah.
And I think the whole landscape of the top levels changed, and I think this restores the bottom too, and it puts the teams in the middle that need to be in there.
I would agree with that. Me being an outsider, and I know that Class B is sort of everything. I've always felt that, at least lately, Class B is not the Class B that everyone assumes that it is or what it was. And now it does, like you said, it takes it right back to where it should be. The smaller schools have a chance to get to the state tournament. I think the middle division, the Division A, I think that's going to be the most competitive. There's certainly going to be some good teams at the top, and there'll be some disparity at the bottom. But it's going to be that way in every division, because there is going to be somebody at the top and somebody at the bottom. But I think the group towards the top, I think the bottom's very small, and then the group at the top is very big.
So you're saying more parity?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. I mean, you can look at some of the games that are being played now in Class B. Like Four Winds might go and play somebody and beat them by 30 or 40. They don't have to play. They won't have so many of those games. They have more competitive games. I think it's going to be a better brand of basketball. And I think, I mean, you don't want to take away from the Class B state tournament, but I think the Division A state tournament is going to be one of the most competitive and probably one of the most exciting to watch.
You know, you brought it up. It brings back the old school Class B, and I was looking at the picture, and I'm looking at it right now with all the teams here in Region 1 and Region 3 and 2, 3, 4, all the regions. And you look at it, and that, to me, is old school what Class B used to be.
Yep.
And, you just look over here, right here at Region 1. You got Wyoming, Lidgewood, Maple River, Enderlin, Hankinson, Richland, Oaks, Tri-State, Barnes County North, and Sargent County. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Class B all the way in my eyes.
And there'll certainly be a top and a bottom or whatever, but it'll be competitive.
Yep.
Yep.
On a consistent basis. It won't be just, okay, that team's going to just wax
Yep.
everybody.
And right now in Class B, Epping, they don't have a school anymore. Epping can't make it anymore.
Right.
They could at one time. And now I think with this new plan, that brings the smaller schools back into it again. And I wonder if some of those co-ops will dissolve.
I think there will. I think a few will.
And there'll be another team added to a district because they said, you know what, let's get our own team back now because we can compete against these teams in the district. And, it's not all about the state tournament, although ultimately that's our goal. It's not all about the state tournament. You ask about when I played, man, we made it to the region tournament my sophomore year, and that was the greatest thing ever. We went there and got hammered by Newtown, but it sure was fun. And then we got a taste of it, and that was just the region. Right. I think that restores those district tournaments to some prominence, and then just get into that region tournament and have an opportunity where they're just not going to make it the way it is right now.
You'd get back to some of those real rivalries, some of those teams that had to combine, some of those rivals that combined. Maybe they separate so they can stay in Class B. I think you get back to that.
Yep.
I mean, that would be nice to see.
All right. Okay, boys, we better move on here. We got 5 other coaches, and then we got Ned Cluten coming on here to talk some more about.
We might not have enough time if Ned gets on the mic. I'm just gonna tell you right now. So
Is he here yet? I haven't seen him.
We might have to put a meter on him. So we'll see what happens.
All right, I think we got Grace Brandt waiting on deck here. So we'll wrap it up here. Jeff Ralph, head coach of the Huskies boys. They'll be at home again on Friday night, taking on Grand Forks Central. Good luck, Jeff.
Thanks, Joe.
To you and the boys.
Appreciate it.
Jeff Ralph, head coach of the Huskies boys basketball squad. We got Grace Brandt for the BW Storm Gymnastics squad coming up right after this.
Here at the Amanda Frederick State Farm Agency, we do our best to make insurance a little less insurance-y for you. Hi, this is Amanda, your local State Farm agent. You've probably seen our team out and about volunteering in the community, participating in local events, and just doing our all-around best to support and encourage a healthy, vibrant community. Stop into our office sometime and find out why we've been consistently voted best insurance agency in the Valley and why State Farm has been a trusted household name in insurance for 100 years. We hope to meet you soon.
Comdell Innovation is now hiring production technicians for a variety of shifts with opportunities to make $20 or more per hour. Work in a clean, climate-controlled facility. Second shift, 4 10-hour days, every weekend off, 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m., and 4-crew rotation, straight days, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., or straight nights, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Apply in person or online at ComdellInnovation.com. Comdell Innovation of Wahpeton, an employee-owned company.
OSPTI offers pediatric physical, occupational, and speech therapy. We work with children of all ages that have a variety of conditions that may limit or delay their functional activities. Through therapeutic play, our goal is to help each child participate alongside their peers to their full potential. At OSPTI, our focus is on each individual's therapy needs, whether it be for speech, occupational, or physical therapy services. I'm Becky, a physical therapist at OSPTI, and I love being able to provide that personal care to each person that we see with clinics in Breckenridge, Hankinson, and Fergus Falls. You don't have to travel very far from home. From infants to athletes to adults, you can request OSPTI to meet your therapy goals.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain Hefty Seed never changes. Red River Grain Hefty Seed works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain Hefty Seed has been saving farmers money for years. For all your grain and agronomy needs, stop in or call the friendly staff at 643-3738. Or visit them online at redrivergrain.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications and Cable Channel 125, a cable channel solely dedicated to Three Borders Sports Network. We thank Red River Communications for that. And we're brought to you by the City Brew here in downtown Wahpeton. We're high above the dining bar area right now, and 4th Street, 2nd Avenue. Come on down and have a bite to eat or your favorite beverage or whatever you'd like to do, and come on down and join us here. We'd appreciate the company. I know Grace Brandt would appreciate the company too. But first, I'm going to say that the City Brew has got Giving Hearts Day, and it goes for everybody tomorrow. February 9th is Giving Hearts Day. I'm sure you've heard plenty about it, but a portion of the sales here from the City Brew will go toward the Richland-Wilkin County Humane Society. Then on the 14th, Valentine's Day, Ryan's going to buy Grace a nice supper on Valentine's Day. Check out the Facebook page for more information. And then on February 16th, there I put the pressure on him for you, Grace. On February 16th, live music with Brianna Helbling from 7 to 10. And then on the 17th, Glow Bingo. Check the Facebook page for more details.
I like how you're spending other people's money.
I like doing that.
I mean, It's not your money.
No, I know.
I mean,
we'll just put the pressure on Ryan, that's all.
I know, but
I don't know, maybe he's got wrestling or something, too. I didn't look at his schedule.
He's a wrestling coach. He's not a farmer.
Yeah, but see, he's not he's not here tonight, so I can pick on him, right?
Okay.
You can.
See? Grace said it was all right.
All right.
All right.
He's got the approval.
Grace Brandt joins us here with the BW Storm Gymnastics squad. Grace, thank you once again.
Thank you for having me.
Did you help Ralph down the ladder there? Jeff was having a little trouble with the ladder.
I did not, but
No.
I was there to be an active spotter should the situation arise.
And you're used to spotting, so
Yes.
that's good. All right, Grace, last Friday you went up to Fargo for a meet up in Fargo, and how did the team do? Not as well as you wanted, I don't think.
No, it wasn't our best showing. We did score a 127 team score, which is on the lower end. We haven't been below 129 or really 130 a whole lot this season. But we were down a consistent team scorer on Friday in Fargo. Elise Scovolt was in Bismarck, and she was at an all-state choir for Friday and Saturday.
That's right.
Which is wonderful, and as coaches, we want to foster that total person, that total student. We want to support other programs, whether that's band or choir or the arts. But it is hard kind of coming to the tail end of a season and losing one of those consistent team scores at one of your last meets.
Yeah, so she was at that, so that was a good thing. Just everybody else there looks like, again, Justice having a great meet again here, the way it looks, just showing up here toward the end of the season.
Yeah, we've seen some really positive growth out of Justice Christian throughout the whole season, and it's been pretty consistent growth as well. She's not been too hesitant to try some new skills and to continue to work upgrades. We've already started talking about what our spring and summer program could look like, kind of our off season, to continue to build even towards next season. As you come to those final weeks, it's not too soon to continue to think of what can you do in the future to make the next season even better, especially with some of those other underclassmen. We saw some really good scores in different areas of competition. Abby had a really good bar score, not her highest of the season, but still given the day and kind of given the space that we had a very interesting bars setup. We had about 8 feet of space between the low bar and a wall. And if you are jumping from the high bar to the low bar, having that visual of a solid wall behind you it's really scary. It's intimidating.
It got to be intimidating.
It truly is, and that was something that we're not prepared for. Each gym has a different setup, and they kind of change their gym configurations even for a meet, and that was something that we didn't know about until we walked in.
So Abby got second, I see, in the bars, though, but like you said, it wasn't her usual higher score. She can get up higher than that.
Correct, and I think part of it, too, is just the equipment that we had walked into, the setup for the gym that day. And there are going to be good days and there are going to be not so good days. Mm-hmm. But what I was really impressed by was that regardless of the team score, I saw everyone contributing to the team. We were all being really positive. Even if something wasn't going the way we wanted, we were upholding teammates. We were giving them positive feedback. We were being encouraging, cheering on the whole time. And that sportsmanship is really what builds high school athletics. If you can't create good sportsmanship, if you can't create good team rapport, if you don't have that mentality that you're in this together, you don't have high school sports.
Wow. My hat's off to you on that.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Nice comment there. All right, as far as the beam goes, Justice again did well. She finishes second. Haley finishes fourth. And, again, a good showing there by the girls in that competition.
Absolutely. We've seen some really good all-around scores coming out. Our beam has been what we've really focused on so far this week. We have a meet on Saturday up in Grand Forks, and that's been a really good kind of timing for the meet at this point in the season, which means we have 5 full days of practices. Usually we get 4, so having kind of that extra practice this week has been really good for us. We're focusing on connections on beam. That's where we're seeing the most deductions this season. We're not connecting one skill to another. So if they land an element or a tumbling skill and they wobble, it's no longer considered connected, and so then there's a 1/10 of a point deduction. And if that happens frequently throughout the course of the routine, then your beam score just continues to fall and fall and fall. So this week we've really been drilling hard on how are we connecting, how tight are we squeezing on the beam, and just being really intentional with every skill we're bringing up on the high beam.
All right, and then and you mentioned, you just touched on it quick there, the all-around. Justin finishes second, Abby Scoble finishes third, and Haley Hansen finishing fourth. So again, a good showing by the girls.
Yep, and we were really able to kind of pull it together. Beam was not our strong suit at the Fargo meet by any means, but we didn't let it get us down. We ended on beam in terms of the event rotation, and I think that was a good place for us to end. Maybe had we started on beam, we would not have been as confident in other areas of the competition, but we're working on just, keeping our mentality. We're going to compete vault and then leave what happens at vault over by vault, and as we move to bars or floor or beam, we have to approach it with a new mindset. We can't take what happens with us.
All right, so this is your first year coaching the gymnastics, and in my eyes anyway, and I'm not a big gymnast, of course, but in my eyes, I think you're doing pretty well. What do you feel that you need to improve to help the girls on a coaching standpoint, and then vice versa? What do you want the girls to do here as you're coming toward the end of the season?
Yeah, from my standpoint, I would love to be able to do some more coaching clinics. Now, this summer, I didn't really have any intention of taking on the high school coaching position. It was just kind of something that had fallen into my lap. There was someone that needed to take over the program, and so I saw an opportunity. I'd worked with the girls this summer in their off season, and I felt like with 3 seniors on the team, we owed it to them to have a season. You don't want to compete in this sport for 12 years of your life and then not have your senior season. That's just not fair. But I'm looking at doing a number of coaching clinics this spring and this summer to continue to develop my spotting skills, to continue to develop my technique, my ability to coach just various levels of gymnastics. In terms of the girls, something that I'm really looking for is, especially out of my 2 juniors, Sydney and Haley, making sure that we are showing that leadership. You know, as our season's starting to come to a close, our juniors need to start stepping up and being those team leaders for the next season, because they will be, you know, leading our small but mighty crew next year. Yep,
and I know Coach Watson would attest to that, where he's going to want his juniors starting to step up in the basketball. I mean, that's just any coach, like you said, and so again, good for you. All right, so you're heading to Grand Forks on Saturday.
Correct.
And just a duel there.
It will be us, Grand Forks, and Fargo.
Okay, so the 3 of you will be up there, and that's the last one until February 16th for EDC, is that correct?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
So we have 1 more regular season meet in Grand Forks, and 3 of the 4 EDC teams will be there. We're still leading the EDC by a little over 2 points, and so we have a good shot still at that regional title, which the girls are really excited about. It's been a while since we've seen a regional title come in for the gymnastics program, and
it's awesome.
I think we'll be at least one of the few winter sports, I think, in the area to potentially have a really good shot at a section title.
That's awesome stuff. All right, B-Dub, you got anything else here for Coach?
I like when she said wobble. I wobble a little bit, or at least people think that I wobble when I walk.
You do wobble when you walk.
No, I like it.
Question.
She's doing the right stuff. Our first year coach, and always wanting to get better. Go to clinics and learn. I mean, it's good.
Yep,
it's a good deal.
Yep,
program's in good hands.
I think so.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Grace, you got anything else you want to add?
We're just really excited to see where the next 3 weeks take us. We'll be in EDC out in Valley City in 2 weeks, and then State in Jamestown the week following. It's a really exciting kind of end to our winter season, and I know the girls are already excited about looking at spring sports too.
It's crazy we're looking at that already, isn't it? It's just nuts how fast the winter flew by. All right, Grace Brandt here, BW Storm Gymnastics head coach, and we appreciate you coming on board, Grace.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I think I saw Mackenzie Broadland down there somewhere, so we'll get Mackenzie up here, and we'll be right back after these messages on Three Borders Sports Network.
Your business depends on technology. Digital Guru provides professional IT solutions you can trust to keep it moving forward. From redesigning existing systems to brand new builds, we offer your business managed IT services, including backups, cybersecurity, cloud services, remote desk support, and more. And don't forget, we also provide audio, video, security camera, and door access control installation. Focus on what you do best and leave the technology to the professionals. Contact Digital Guru today.
Bold Print in Wahpeton is your local provider for all of your printing and promotional needs, including custom decals, which is a great way to promote your business. Bold Print also has custom framing and unique personalized gift ideas. Don't trust your family photos to an online company. Use Bold Print for all of your custom framing and canvas printing. Give them a call today, 701-642-2188, or check them out online, useboldprint.com.
Getting you back to what you love. We are Optimum Rehab. For over a decade, Dr. Tony Eggeman has provided physical therapy services for the people of Wahpeton, Breckenridge, and surrounding communities. We're a small practice that sees our patients as individuals. Through hands-on techniques, our patients have their treatment plans tailored to their exact needs. Sprains, sore muscles, back pain, achy joints, rehab following surgery, you name it. Optimum Rehab is your answer. When you need exceptional physical therapy, you need Optimum Rehab.
At Interstate Engineering, our business is about connections. We connect people to water, communities to counties, and counties to the rest of the world. Our work connects main streets to interstates, and yesterday with the potential of tomorrow. With over 40 years of connecting, our experience and expertise are thanks to the clients we have earned, the trust we have built, and the connections we have made. Interstate Engineering, the professionals you need, the people you trust.
Welcome back to the Giant Show on Three Borders Sports Network. We're powered by Red River Communications, and we're brought to you by the City Brew. Here, we're high above the City Brew. I'm Joe Schreiner. That's Brian Watson. Beat up. We're here.
I'm holding it together, Joe.
You got it together here.
We had a few sound issues early, but I think we got them figured out.
We're all good to go. So don't forget to come by the City Brew here tomorrow. It's Giving Hearts Day. A portion of their proceeds here at the City Brew is going to go toward the Richland-Wilkin County Humane Society. I don't know why that's so tough for me to say. I've struggled all 3 times I've come back to say that.
You're struggling a little bit today.
I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe you need to go to a clinic.
I might need to. Some kind of clinic. We won't say what kind. February 14th, Valentine's Day dinner here. Check their Facebook page. Also for Glow Bingo on the 17th of February. And there's music here by Brianna Helbling on the 16th. So a lot of things going on here at the City Brew. So we're now joined here by head coach of the BW Blades lady hockey team, and that is Mackenzie Broadland. Mackenzie, thanks for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah, big win for you here. We'll talk about, but we got to get you out of here pretty quick. She's going to play volleyball, so we got to get coach out.
They
of here.
don't even need me out there. They got it down.
I think that's where Hannah went, and Jordan's probably over there. Everybody over there playing volleyball tonight. So
busy Wednesday.
So all right, Coach. Thanks again for joining us here. Saturday, you took actually on Thursday, since we last met, you went to Prairie Center.
Yep.
And you battled out to a 3-3 tie. Was that expected, or I thought that maybe that was going to be a win for you guys, I guess.
Yes, I think we went into it expecting a win, which
ready to play then.
Well, not that we weren't. We had a lot of good offensive control during that game. I thought we played really well. We had a lot of good passing. We maybe started a little bit slow, but once things got going, we started doing really well. But their goalie, she had an amazing game.
Okay.
She's a junior this year, and I talked to their coaches after the game, and I'm like, is anyone talking to her yet? Because she's going places. She's
going to go somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
She absolutely stood on her head that game. So, yeah, she did really good and kept a lot of our shots out of the back of the net. So, props to her, absolutely. But, definitely a game we could have won.
Okay.
But, again, they battled hard. So,
and it really didn't probably affect you too much here in the win-loss column as far as seeding, does it?
I don't think so.
When I look at it, so the tie didn't really hurt you or didn't affect you. If you had to win, it might have brought you up with Northern Lakes, but I think they beat you, so you still would have fallen down one spot.
Yep.
So, okay, we'll get to that later as we get more into that conversation. Hey, I forgot to say Chad Affield's watching, too. I forgot to say hi to Chad.
Yeah, you can't leave him out.
I know. He's like our... He's on the board of directors, I think.
Yeah.
So, Chad Affield, thanks for watching. All right, back to Mackenzie then. So then that quick turnaround, again, you go on one long road trip. You get a day off. Probably went to practice on Friday, I would assume. And then Saturday, you load the bus early. What time did you get on the bus on Saturday?
7 a.m.
Was
7
it with the boys
sharp.
squad, too?
Yeah.
So the boys and the girls all got on the bus.
Bus. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think everyone slept including myself, for the first 2 hours of the bus ride. But
I bet.
yeah, it was a long ride. But
so what is it down there to Worthington? 4 hours? 4 hours?
Yep.
Yeah,
4-ish.
So it's a long trip, but for the Lady Blades, it was a nice win.
Yep. Yeah.
A much needed win.
Definitely. Tough for the Worthington team. I feel for them. They have some low numbers and have lost some girls throughout the season. So.
And in all fairness, you've been there.
Yep. Oh,
right?
exactly.
You know,
yes.
so.
Very true.
Okay,
but yeah, a good win for our girls. I think they needed that and really showed us what we can do on offense. Like you have on your paper there, we had everyone across the board kind of helping out and. Just a really good win for us. So
yeah, I got Reagan Wohlers for 8 points or 4 goals, 4 assists.
Yep.
She's 8th in the state with 40 goals. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
I think
pretty good number.
Yeah, she's top 10 in goals and top 30 in the top 30 for points. I think so. Yeah, she's sitting really good. So, I think quick promo. She's up for MN Girls Hockey Player of the Week. So if you go on MN Girls Hockey Hub, you can vote for Reagan for Player of the Week.
There you go, folks. You got an assignment, and she certainly deserves it.
Yes.
4 goals,
she had a
4 assists.
Great week. Yeah, she had 8 points on Saturday, and I think she had all 3 on Thursday. Don't quote me on that, but I want to say she had all 3. So she had a lot of points last week, so she did really good.
Good for her. Kennedy Schuler, hat trick and 2 assists.
Yep.
And Addie Rugland, 3 points with 2 assists. Allie Hare had another one. And Lily Byer had a good one. They both each had 2 points.
Yep.
And then Coley Schuler did her job in the net. You talk about a good goalie in the net, and she stopped 12 of 13 shots. So.
Yeah, she's looking good. She had a really good practice today. She saw a lot of pucks, so hopefully going in tomorrow, she gets a lot of stops for us. So she's been doing good.
So you played goalie too, didn't you?
No.
No?
Oh, God, no.
Get me out of there.
If I was in the net, we probably would have had a lot more losses in our column. But
I was going to say, that's got to be tough on a goalie. I mean, I know you get extra pads and everything like that and a good helmet, face mask. Man, they have them things flying at you at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, she's really stepped up to the plate for us. I mean, any goalie, she started playing goalie last year, freshman in high school. And this year she's a sophomore, so I think she's just doing phenomenal for her second year as a goalie. With never being in the net before, she's just really stepping up to the plate and doing her job for us. So can't complain there.
All right, good job, Coley. And then of course we can't forget Ivy Oshak, also another senior leader for you. So
definitely.
I just wanted to make sure I mentioned Ivy's name too.
Yes,
and there's
all
a lot
of our
other
seniors
girls.
in there. Yep.
Did we talk last week? Had Carson hurt her foot? Did we talk? Was that last week?
Yeah, we did talk about it. She did have surgery today, and it went well. So
get well soon, Carson.
Yes.
Yep. So, all right. Now, first time.
First year.
First time. How do you feel now? You're the number 5 seed, so you're going to have to travel to Breezy Point, Minnesota to take on Northern Lakes.
Yep.
And that's tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock.
Puck drops at 6.
Yep.
Okay.
I believe, not to talk about another broadcaster, but I think
That's
some RJ broadcasting is going to be broadcasting. So,
okay. So it'll be out there.
Yep.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, really looking forward to our first playoff game. These girls, these last 2 years, have worked really hard for this, and
you know it.
I think we're all up for the challenge. This is a team that skill-wise we match up really well with. Our previous scores against them haven't reflected that, but skill-wise we match up very well. They just have about a line and a half more than us, so we get tired pretty quick. So our main focus for tomorrow night is quick shifts and staying rested throughout the game so we can last all three periods, and playing clean hockey. They're a really physical team, so just looking for everyone to make some clean plays for us, and hopefully the reffing is on too. So,
well, that never happens with a coach, does it, Brian? Hoping that the reffing is on the spot.
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Well, she's never had a technical or penalty called on her, but
no, it's kind of. Can you get a technical? What do you get?
I think we get a bench penalty, and
she doesn't even know. That's a good thing.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Maybe I should know just in case, but yeah, I think we get a bench penalty, and maybe I get kicked off the bench for a game or two. But.
Just don't get 2, okay? I can tell you that. Don't get 2.
All right.
Don't get 2 in one game.
No.
I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, this is where we went last time, where I was arguing with the refs a little bit. So hopefully it's not the same guy.
We don't want to read about that in the paper.
I don't want that to happen. So
all right. Okay, Mackenzie, we'll let you go. I know you got another appointment here at 8 o'clock, so we'll let you go. And, again, good luck to you and the girls tomorrow.
Thank you.
And,
we appreciate it.
We won't be here next week with our coaches show, but
no worries.
We wish you well. And
Thank you.
We'll have you in for the final wrap-up.
Sounds good.
All right, Mackenzie Broadland, BW Blades ladies hockey head coach. And good luck to them tomorrow as Section 6A hockey tournament begins. They'll go over to Northern Lakes and take on Northern Lakes.
Yep.
Good luck, and we'll be back right after these messages. And we've got special guests out there. I think that's Ned Cluten standing in the dark over there.
You better clear off the VIP seat.
Oh, my gosh.
Get ready.
I don't know if that seat's cushy enough.
I know what you mean.
All right, we'll be right back with Ned Cluten.
Insurance is an important safety net for your family, your home, and your business. Carlson Family Insurance Agency is your local auto owner's insurance provider. At Carlson Family Insurance, they work for their clients, not the companies. Customer service and satisfaction is their #1 goal. Give Carlson Family Insurance a call for all of your personal, farm, business, and crop insurance needs. 701-672-6002 or at cfiagency.com. Carlson Family Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Red River Human Services Foundation provides services to people with disabilities, which enhances their quality of lives and enable them to live, work, and develop relationships in their communities. Red River Human Services Foundation has multiple direct support professional positions available in their Wahpeton, Fargo, and West Fargo locations. Job opportunities include flexible scheduling, competitive wages, on-site paid training, and life experience. Voted #1 place to work for the past 5 years, join their team and apply online at www.rrhsf.org. Red River Human Services Foundation supports all local area sports activities and wishes everyone the best of luck.
Thrivent and Will Ulick provides clarity for where you are today, confidence for where you go tomorrow. At Thrivent, Will Ulick can help you address a variety of complex subjects to meet your unique wealth management needs, from retirement planning to investment management and estate planning. Thrivent. What are you invested in? Thrive with purpose. Since 1987, Red River Valley and Western Railroad has served North Dakota and Minnesota with over 500 miles of track. Red River Valley and Western handles shipping, freight car repair, storage options, and now transload services. With over 30 years of experience in the railroad industry, they know dependable service is what you strive for. Red River Valley and Western is proud to be a part of the community since 1987.
Right after school, I'm right into the workforce. I don't have to go looking for a job, and that's kind of what made me take a step forward into being a diesel tech at NDSCS. No looking back. My name is Eli, and I'm here for my future.
Welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications and Cable Channel 125, a channel solely dedicated to Three Borders Sports Network. We thank Red River Communications for that. And also powered by and brought to you by the City Brew here on 4th Street and 2nd Avenue, high above the bar and dining area. A nice crowd down there below. I think there's even a contingent of Wahpeton people down there.
There might be a few people down there.
Yeah, good crowd.
I think Jeff Ralph was even sticking around to see if Ned would
if he's
pull out
here,
his credit card.
If he's here.
I think Jeff's buying tonight.
When the boss is here, you kind of expect it.
All right, let's get down to business. We are welcoming Ned Cluten here to our stage, and Ned is principal at Wahpeton High School and also a member of the NDHSAA. Did I say that right?
That's a mouthful. You got it.
How about that? The high school league board, I guess, if you will. Yeah. And one of how many members?
11.
11 members on the board, and Ned is one of the ones that were on there. And we asked Ned to come on tonight. Brian and I talked about it. Ned, is not a coach. He might have coached one time years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
still a coach at heart.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There you go. So Brian and I talked about bringing Ned on tonight to talk more exclusively about the three-class system, because Ned was a strong proponent of it, and also on the board, Ned might have some insight here that we can maybe ask some questions.
Absolutely. Let's talk.
All right. So, again, Ned, welcome aboard here, and we appreciate you being on. Without getting into a 20-minute explanation, just talk about the process itself. How did the process begin? How did it finally take shape? And then what needed to be done?
Yeah, the process was really started by the focus group. They had to tackle this issue, which I think, the board several years ago had so many plans thrown at them. And it was just kind of willy-nilly, if you don't mind me using that word.
Yeah, that's fine.
They had so many plans thrown at them, and it was just so unorganized that the board put forth this plan that said, we're not going to accept any plan unless you have 60% of member schools supporting it.
Okay.
That was a huge hurdle.
That's a big number.
So the focus group said, okay, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna organize a focus group. We're gonna have members from across the state as part of this focus group, from all classes, from all regions, and we're gonna get feedback, and we're gonna have meetings across the state. We're going to get feedback. We're going to change it. We're going to be open to dialogue. And they spent 8 months, listening to people, changing things, changing numbers, looking at diving into what's wrong with the current program, and then changing things and coming up with a plan. And I feel like they did it so well and changed so many things that they got the requirement of what they needed with that 60%. Nobody thought they would.
Yeah.
Or at least a lot of people didn't think they would.
I suppose.
And they got more than they needed. They needed 60, they got 70.
I was going to say, I heard the number was over 70.
Yeah.
Yep.
So once they crossed that hurdle, then that was presented to us as a board. And then it was in our hands to say, okay, we're going to take that plan exactly as it is, or we're going to make some tweaks to it. You know, the first big hurdle was the multiplier. We had the multiplier in there for any.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, any student that was out of district, we counted them as 2.
Yep.
And the big issue with that was we heard a lot about, you know, the potential to sue. And I don't think that we were so nervous.
So you're saying,
yeah.
Let me back up here before you go on with that. The potential to sue. So you're saying, and I'm not picking on them, but a parochial school that has somebody from out of state, they might sue because they were going to sue like the high school league?
Yeah, not necessarily out of state, but out of district. So and it wasn't just parochial schools.
Yep.
We were hearing this from public schools. You know, a lot of these public schools that are close to a metro area, if the parent doesn't want them to be in a large metro school, they might send them out of that metro school to one of those schools that are surrounding it. It wasn't these schools that were threatening to sue, but a school like Kindred or a school like Central Cass.
Gotcha.
You know, one of those schools that's out of the metro, a Class B school, but close enough to drive to.
Yep.
So we don't want the large metro education. We want a small Class B education. So we're going to send you out of town. You know.
Yep.
And now that's not the district they live in. We have open enrollment in North Dakota. That's unique.
Yep.
So because they're out of district, that would be counted as a 2 for a Central Cass or a Thompson or a Kindred because they're coming from out of district.
Yep.
So we were hearing about litigation. We as a board weren't worried about defending the litigation. We felt like we were probably within our rights and that we would probably win it. We just didn't know when. And is that right to spend member schools' dollars defending it in court, number one?
Right.
And then number 2, how long is it going to be hung up?
Yep.
How many years are we going to fight it in court?
And we've been fighting this for how many years to begin with?
Yes, exactly. So what we said is if we can get teams where we think they belong without a multiplier, do we really need to fall on our sword for the multiplier?
Right.
So we felt like we could find a way to get them in the right divisions, get rid of the multiplier, get them there. Let's get this done. And that's what we ended up doing.
Did you, I'm butting in here more, but
yeah.
Me as an average Joe, no pun intended, but me as the average Joe, as a sports fan out there, the people that were the multiplier fans, are they upset? I mean, the people that were proponents of the multiplier, are they upset now that we took the multiplier out?
Oh, some are. Absolutely.
They? Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely
they still
some
say
that
it's not fair. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that comes with being one of these board members and just the realization, even a school administrator, that you're never going to please everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you get these letters from people that I can't believe you did that, and you can't believe that you did that. You're
just never in the broadcasting business too.
Yeah, you're never going to please everyone. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. There's definitely people that as soon as we said we're going to pull the multiplier, we lost them.
Okay, so we've crossed that, and that kind of leads me into my next question, Ned. Again, Ned Cluten here, high school principal at Wahpeton and North Dakota State High School League board member, one of 11. Brings me to my next question, Ned. And you talked about the roadblock already. So is there any other roadblocks other than the multiplier now to make this all go and happen in the 23-24 season?
I don't think we've got roadblocks. We've got some cones. We've got some cones that we got to get around on the road, but I don't think we've got any blocks left.
Okay.
I really think that today we got rid of the last remaining blocks. But we've definitely got some cones and maybe even some barrels left in our way.
Oh, wow.
That we've got to get across. We've got some details that we've got to get through. Okay. You know, some of the biggest details are tournament venues. You know, we've never really run 2 basketball tournaments on the same weekend before.
Right.
And that's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult for some people to get over that idea.
Yep.
Televising 2 basketball tournaments at the same time.
Yep.
Some people aren't going to like that. And then the idea that, you know, do we have the facilities to do this well?
That was going to be another question of mine. It was logistics.
Yeah, logistics of this are interesting. And we do have some facilities throughout the state. That was brought up by Guy Fridley today. One of the nicest facilities in the state right now is Watford City.
Sure. I've heard
you
that.
know, and why isn't that being proposed as a potential host site? So there are some facilities that, you know, we could go to. People would argue that that's not an ideal spot to go to for a state tournament. There are some centrally located areas, and then there's not some centrally located areas. So there are some cones, there are some details that we've got to work out, and we've got to do that quickly because now we said we're going to do this for next year.
Yep.
So timelines are interesting. You know, the Jamestown Civic Center has come up a lot. If we're going to host a state tournament there, there's some serious renovations that need to happen. And I don't think anybody's pulled any punches. Jamestown knows that, and we've heard from them that they're willing and ready to commit to that. Now, can they make it happen?
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
In a year time.
Correct.
Yep. Interesting. All right. What are some of the opposition complaints that are out there right now? Is there still some even after the approval is done? Or did the board hear anything from anybody else out there right now on saying, this is still wrong, we shouldn't be doing this, or are they finally accepting it?
Yeah, there's two big complaints. The most recent. There's a lot more than just two.
Okay.
So let's just deal with those.
All right.
The two recent complaints are, should we implement next year or should we wait a year? Okay, I'm going to wait on that one just a second. The second one that came up recently was the ratio in the middle class, and that one's kind of convoluted, but basically it's the idea that in the middle class right now, the range of students is 160, I think it is, up to 650 kids.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay? And what they're saying is that range of kids is too large. If you factor that out, it's a ratio of 4.0. And the other divisions are about a 3. AA is about a 3, and Class B is about a 3.
Okay.
And the middle range is about a 4. And they're saying that's too many kids. That's too much.
Okay.
So what we were hearing from a member school board is that we should drop that top number from 650 down to about 487. And if we did that, that would change the middle level to a ratio of 3.
Yep.
Okay, it would be equal to Class B, and it would also make that top division about a 3 as well. So we'd have 3, 3, and 3.
Yep.
Okay. It would affect 3 schools. It would force Turtle Mountain up, it would force Devil's Lake up, and it would force Watford City up. Did his homework, came up with really good numbers, made good arguments. Here's the problem. When the focus group first came out with their original plan,
yes, sir.
Okay, about a year ago.
Yep.
That was their first plan. They had Turtle Mountain, Devil's Lake, Watford City, all in the upper division.
Okay.
And they heard feedback from across the state. No, that's not right. Those 3 teams don't belong there.
Wow.
Unanimously, all across the state, people came out of the woodwork. No, you can't do that. You can't do that to Watford. You can't do that to Turtle Mountain. Devil's Lake is the smallest of the 3 right now.
Sure it is. Yeah.
You can't do that. Those 3 teams don't belong there. So they revised their plan. They moved those 3 teams into the middle division. And it was kumbaya. Everybody was happy. This is where it belongs.
Wow.
Fast forward. Devil's Lake boys are having a really good year.
They are.
And they're really young.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the teams in the middle class, especially the large Class Bs, are looking at this and saying, holy cow, this Devil's Lake boys team is a juggernaut. And they're young. What's going to happen when we play them? I don't like this. And now we're hearing Devil's Lake might not belong there.
Okay, so now the backpedaling begins.
Backpedaling. We decided to leave it. In 2 years, if Devil's Lake is a juggernaut, they can be moved up.
Okay.
We know Watford City and Turtle Mountain don't belong there. Okay, so we decided to leave it. That's one of the issues. Second issue is, should we wait?
Yep.
And this one was hard, and that's where we had 2 dissenting board members today saying we feel like we should wait a year. On our survey, that was what we heard most from that middle level is, you know, we've got to set a deadline now for dissolving co-ops. I mean, there's some school that are going to say now that there's 3 classes, we want to separate our co-op.
That's interesting.
We want to make a new co-op.
Brian and Jeff talked about that in Jeff's portion of the interview a little earlier.
I'll bring up a local example. I believe, my understanding is that the new girls basketball co-op between Wyndmere, Lidgerwood, and Hankinson has in their bylaws that if 3-class basketball goes through, their co-op dissolves.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I believe that's in their co-op regulations. So I think that's automatic that they will dissolve their co-op, and I think Hankinson's excited about the potential to field
go back and be
a girls' basketball. Right. But there are a lot of those that are going to happen. Some of them may be in a tough spot on whether or not they'll be able to field a team. That's the hard stuff for a board member.
Yep.
Are we going to have schools that are left high and dry and can't field a team?
Can't get the team out there,
So that's hard.
All right, one other question that I have, and then you mentioned it there a little bit too, but I'm still a little bit unclear. Teams have the option to opt up,
yes,
or down.
Kind of.
How can you go? Oh, okay. How can you go down is what I was going to ask. Now, you like Shanley football, they've opted up for the last couple of years, and that's where they belong.
Yeah.
They know it.
Yeah.
Just for competition-wise. So now you've got teams that can opt down. How does that all work?
So I've been really vocal on both sides, both sports of those, both football and basketball, that I'm making a request of mine to get rid of the phrase opt down.
Okay.
Because I don't believe it should be an option.
Shouldn't be.
Okay. Opt up, sure.
Yep.
You want to opt up to a higher division and compete at a higher level? Opt away.
Have a way.
Opt away. Opt down, I want to get rid of the phrase out of every bylaw and high school activities if I can.
Okay.
Can you petition a committee to move down based on how you're performing?
There
sure.
you go. All right, I'd be all right with that.
Okay, so I try to correct everybody that says opt down, even the people I really like say, don't say opt down anymore. Just stop using the phrase, because we need to get rid of that whole phrase, and because it shouldn't be an option, because what we're finding is when we give teams a criteria in which they could meet to potentially opt down, they're going to find a way to meet it.
Yep.
That's what we see in football.
Yep, darn right.
Give me a hoop to jump through, and I'll jump through it in order to compete at a lower division.
Yep.
So what we're saying is that if you feel like you're not in the correct division, and your record and your competition level is showing it,
your numbers,
whatever, petition this committee. Okay, the committee will look at its impact in your current division and what it might do to the next division. Is it going to push them to 12 teams? Is it going to create travel that's unmanageable? Okay?
Yep.
And then they make the decision, an impartial committee will make the decision on whether or not you should be moved down or not.
Yep. I like that.
And there could be some factors that they look at, not necessarily criteria to be met, but criteria to look at in order to make that determination.
All right.
And we want to not just make that for basketball. We want to jump over and look at that for football as well.
Interesting. I like that. All right, I was going to ask you about funding for tournaments and stuff here, but I've taken up a lot of your time here, Ned. But I know Brian maybe wants to chime in here with something. You don't really know where tournaments are going to be held yet, so that
we've got venues set. I mean, we've got
state tournaments.
Yeah, we've got. We shouldn't say set. We have preliminary venues right now, as far as where we want them to be.
Okay.
Can't
reveal that yet?
Oh, yeah. I guess I don't know if I have them memorized well enough in my head, but we can reveal that. I mean, we already had some set, so the
pre-work was done.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of this talk that you hear, well, geez, they don't know what they're going to do as far as where the tournaments are going to be held.
Yeah.
You guys got a pretty good idea.
Yeah, we've got that set. We've even got a TV schedule already set. WDAY did a great job with what it would look like. Like, one of the things that's a little controversial, when you're running two basketball tournaments at one time, you want to televise all your semifinal games on a Friday.
Yeah.
So one of those tournaments is going to have their semifinal games in the afternoon.
Oh, sure.
That's going to be a little controversial. You're going to play semifinal games, and then you're going to play, that loser's bracket in the evening. We're going to flop it the following year so that those two tournaments understand that they're going to alternate every year.
Okay.
But you want to televise your semifinal games.
Yep.
That's just one of the factors that we want to make sure that happens.
Interesting.
But WDY has done a great job to make sure that we have a schedule that works, and all these games are going to be televised, whether it's on WDAY's main channel, WDAY Extra, or streaming. All of them are going to be televised.
Even the loser, not the
all
consolation side.
Everything.
Okay. All right.
Everything.
All right, B-Dub, I'm going to bring you in here just for final comments. I know you preferred to stay out of the conversation, but just because of your coach and the situation.
I don't really have a question, but I'd like to say hats off to the board for making this happen.
Absolutely.
I think that for many years, I'm an outsider. Jeff is a North Dakota kid and a Class B kid, but I'm an outsider, and I've always heard that it'll never happen.
Yeah.
It'll absolutely never happen. And I just think that the board did a good job of listening to its members.
Yep.
I think the focus group did a good job of putting this together and making it reasonable so that everybody can understand. And I think the board did a great job. Even those who voted against it, I think they brought up some good points and got some changes made. And I think is it 100% right? No, but I think it's the right time to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that it can be tweaked. And I think as we go along, it's never going to be perfect, but I think it'll be better for everybody that is a member of the State High School League.
I think what you said is so important. You know, we heard on our survey today that there's too many things wrong with this plan. You should wait a year. We will never, ever have a plan that's perfect. No. We just cannot get there.
Good point.
Yep. And I think it's important to realize that, you know, we've caught some flack right now. There's a board member from Devils Lake and a board member from Valley City and a board member from Wahpeton. And we've caught some flack that this might be a Wahpeton, Devils Lake, and a Valley City issue. And I think it's been overabundantly clear by every survey that's gone out that this isn't those teams' issue.
No,
I mean, if you look at those survey results, this is a huge issue for the state of North Dakota. Yeah. And when you get 70% support, and now in this latest one, it was 66% of our schools that said, we want this to be done for next school year. Yeah. It was 80% that said, we want this plan voted through. Yeah. When was the last time that we had a supermajority in the U.S. Congress? On anything.
Yeah.
I mean, to get a supermajority for something like this, I keep on saying it in our board meetings, like that. You guys don't understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
To get 2/3 of our member schools to agree on something. Yeah. Why are we debating? Yeah. Let's just get this done.
Yeah, and I think in a couple of years you'll look back and people will say, well, geez, why do we wait so long? I think there's some things that have already happened where it appeared difficult because it had never been attempted, and then once you get in the process of it, oh, this is kind of easy to do.
Yeah.
And I think as this moves along, it's going to become just the way that it is, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy. I think a lot of fans are going to be happy with the way that things are going to be.
Yeah.
So.
One more comment. I was talking to Wade Gilbertson. You know, he teaches POD. I think it was him that pointed out that we could change the U.S. Constitution with 2/3 of a vote.
you got it right.
Absolutely.
There you go.
No doubt about it. Ned, I appreciate you coming up here and spending a lot of time with us here, and your comments, and hopefully the fans are more informed here, and I just can't say thanks enough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was definitely. I was so happy to see that it was an 8-2 vote today.
Yes.
You know, we had the member schools voted, and the board members saw it. It was 8-2.
So if it would have been would it still have passed had it been just a majority?
Yeah.
If it
we just needed a majority.
5 or 6-4, it would have been all right. You didn't have an 11th member there today, I take it.
She was in and out. Superintendent Baszler, she's got a lot of meetings, especially in the legislative. She was in and out all day long. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of meetings for legislative year, but no, we just needed a majority.
We again, on behalf of Three Borders Sports Network and the fans that I talk to, thank you very much for all your efforts, man.
Absolutely.
You did well.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Ned. All right, Ned Cluten, and we're going to take a break. I think Austin Emdeck is sitting out there in the dark, and we'll be right back with Austin Emdeck here right after this.
Every bank wants you to open an account.
Sign up.
Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Exactly why you should compare your bank to Bell Bank. At Bell, we don't nickel and dime you with fees on things like checking accounts and ATMs. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to a bank you'll love and give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
I found out way more than just like sports. I met a lot of people just on my floor, and then different activities you could go to that were on campus. I for sure will look back on all the memories and love it. My name is Grace, and I'm here for my future.
Every business begins with an idea. With dedication, hard work, and high-speed broadband, that idea can grow into something giant. The member organizations that form BAND are proud to support North Dakota businesses every step of the way, from the soil to the stadium. The Broadband Association of North Dakota, helping North Dakotans grow bright ideas into big business.
At Interstate Engineering, our business is about connections. We connect people to water, communities to counties, and counties to the rest of the world. Our work connects main streets to interstates, and yesterday with the potential of tomorrow. With over 40 years of connecting, Our experience and expertise are thanks to the clients we have earned, the trust we have built, and the connections we have made. Interstate Engineering, the professionals you need, the people you trust.
Thrivent and Will Ulick provides clarity for where you are today, confidence for where you go tomorrow. At Thrivent, Will Ulick can help you address a variety of complex subjects to meet your unique wealth management needs, from retirement planning to investment management and estate planning. Thrivent. What are you invested in? Thrive with purpose.
All right, welcome back to Three Borders Sports Network. Welcome back to the City Brew. We're high above the City Brew here. We're bringing you the Giants Coaches Show, and powered by Red River Communications and brought to you by the City Brew. We are now joined here by head coach of the Cowgirls basketball squad, Austin Emdeck. Austin, thanks for joining us, buddy.
As always, nice to see you guys.
Appreciate you being here. Now the Breckenridge folks down there. I see Chris Roberts and George Sanchez down there. They're Chris isn't here. Chris is saying, no, I'm not here. So I guess I just blew it there.
Yeah,
Sorry, Chris, I blew it for you, buddy.
I think you just blew his cover.
Sean, he's not here. That's funny. That's funny. We can get the camera on you, Chris, if you want. All right, we're joined now by head coach of the Cowgirls, Austin Emdeck. Again, congratulations on a win on Monday night there. You took on the Frazee Hornets. They came to town. But first, let's go back to last week and Friday, and you took on East Grand Forks up in East Grand Forks. Not an easy place to play.
No. A long road trip, or maybe a little bit longer than we're used to, and it just kind of came out a little flat, and they beat us defensively on some breakdowns that we gave up, and shots weren't falling, and we were having a tough time getting to the rim, and we were down 9 at half, kind of a low-scoring back-and-forth game. Mm-hmm. We did use the shot clock in that game again because it was non-conference, so that's nice. It really it came into play a time or two, but I think it's the same conversation we have about the shot clock each time. So kind of once or twice, but really doesn't play a role. But it's good to have it there. So that was good. Second half, we did a better job of getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line and knocking most of those down. But just defensively, we gave up 35 points again in the second half. So just not quite enough to get it done. A lot of fouls. Work call. We were in the bonus both halves, double bonus in the second half, and playing a little foul game at the end there, I guess, to get you in the double bonus, trying to stay in it. But the girls battled. It was a lot of adversity throughout that game for a lot of different kids, the whole team really just in different aspects of what we were seeing, and they fought hard. They keep fighting. I think that's a general reoccurring theme that we've talked about all year. Right, these kids don't give up. They're fighting hard, and
and I just looking in your scorebook here over your shoulder, you played them even in the second half. It was 35-35 in the second half. It's just the slow start for the girls. And
slow start and just not getting enough stops really in either half, but, especially in the second to try to play yourself out of the hole. Went on a couple of runs that were real nice and got us, right there, but then, they'd answer back with one or whatever. But, they shot a lot of free throws in the second half, and that makes it tough on the defense when you're sending them to the line a lot. But, they got a couple solid players, and one player I think we mentioned it last week how Tatum Badaba for East Grand Forks plays AAU with Jonica and Parker in the summer, so that's always fun to match up in that. And she played well. She had 18. Just couldn't quite get enough stops on her, and then they had another gal in 16 range. So kind of two players really did a lot of the hurting, but. In that game, Jonica and Parker led us both with 15, and Sydney had 7. So she had a really nice offensive night for us, playing aggressive, playing confident. Addie had 6. Kelsey Sorrell had 2. Aaron Bloffus chipped in 1. Missed Abby Johnson there. She had 7 as well. So she's tied with Sydney with 7 there. So, sometimes how the cookie crumbles,
How it goes, and again, folks, I'm not making excuses for coach. I'm not, but me as a fan, it's a AA school, and you just got to look at it that it makes the girls tougher, and it sets you up for the Section A tournament a little bit better. Again, I'm I'm not on the inside like these two guys, but
we prefer the tough competition. We were 2A not that long ago. Those are the teams we're used to playing. We like the schedule that we keep it the way it is. And East Grand Forks is a team that they're a 500 team. We don't need to sugarcoat it. It's a team that we probably should have got. And just didn't come out and didn't play our best basketball on a Friday night and travel in 2 hours. And it was just back to the drawing board. And we answered on Monday, right? It was a quick turnaround. We answered on Monday, so that's what you got to do.
So let's talk about Monday again. A win here for the Cowgirls, a 10-point win, 59-49. Coach, I guess Brian and I both did that game on Three Borders Sports Network, so we were both there. Brian, so if you got any comments, you can chime in. But again, I was impressed with their defense, the Frazee defense. The Hornets come out and they got a couple of freshmen that are going to be good ball players for a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course you do too.
Yeah.
So they're going to battle each other for the next 3 years too. But it was an interesting game by that aspect of it.
It's a crazy good freshman class throughout the whole conference. Pelicans got probably the best one out of them all. Morgan Korf is really, really good.
She's only a freshman too.
She's only a freshman. She plays AAU with Parker and Jonica in the summer too. They're all on the same team.
Wow.
And then you got the two Frazee players. You have a post from DGF that's really, really good. There's a couple perms, got one or two. I'm missing a few in there still. It's just a really, really talented freshman class in the HOL, which is kind of cool. They'll get to compete in the conference together for a handful of more years. But to answer your question, or going back to the defense, we saw them one time. They weren't, already. This is the second double back of the conference games, and they weren't as aggressive in it, but we saw it already. And I think it just, for whatever reason, kind of caught them by surprise, and they panicked a little bit. And outside of that, though, it's a good press, right? Frazee runs that very, very well. It's a first-year coach there, so he's getting them, on the up and up each and every week, getting more comfortable with that trap and with that zone. And that takes practice. That takes team chemistry to execute a defense like that. And they're starting to execute it really well. And
you talked about it before the game, you and I did. We didn't do a pregame show, but you and I talked about it. You said they're going to bring that 1-2-2 out, and they'll keep bringing it up higher and higher, and that's exactly what they did.
Exactly what they did, yeah. And they'll mix in, it'll be 1-2-2, and then they'll go possessions where it's really more of a 1-3-1 with a baseline runner on the bottom. And I knew he'd go 1-3-1 because that was, I don't know if I mentioned this on air or not, and outside of that, I don't really try to make too much of it, but Frazee's head coach was a high school classmate of mine, a teammate of mine. So he's a year younger than me. We played together, so I knew he'd be coming with the 1-3-1 because that was our bread and butter back then, and we've always liked it. And it's a good defense when you can run it well.
Yep.
But Sonnenberg for Frazee is really good. She got to the free throw line probably a little too much, especially in the second half, and she finished with 25. But to a certain degree, it was know where Sonnenberg is, but make other people beat us, and they didn't quite have enough, others to beat us, and eventually our depth and our balanced scoring prevailed in that one. So.
Yep. And I know Larson did well for them too in the first half, but you basically shut her down in the second half.
Yeah, she only had 2 points and one field goal in the second half, and that made it different. 25 and then 24 points as far as first and second half respectively. So a good defensive game there. Even a couple breakdowns within that, but hold the team to 49 points. You got to win that one.
Yep. So there you go. All right. So for the girls again, Parker again had a nice night there in double figures.
Yeah, and Parker, she hasn't been shooting the ball from three very well. She's 0 for 4 again, but still she's pouring in 16 points. She's getting to the free throw line. She's doing other things. She's setting up teammates. She did lead us with 16. She's grinding for those 16, and it's still I always feels like it's a quiet 16 still. And those are the best type of scorers. And Abby came in with 13. Jonica followed up with 10. Sydney Roberts had another nice game, scoring 7 points. That's back-to-back games with 7 for her, and then Addie Twidwell with 7 as well. Look at the rebounding effort. I thought that was one of the keys to the game last night, and not giving Frazee second chance points and attacking the glass. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that, because when you look at the stats here, it's not like nobody's going to jump out at you, but we did a well-rounded job of it. So our point guard, Jonica, led us with 8 rebounds. Parker has 7. Kelsey has 5, so another wing player with 5 rebounds. Erin Blofis in the limited minutes that she played, I want to say it was 7 or 11 minutes. She had 4 rebounds. Emily Gowan had 3. Addie had 2. Sydney had 3. Abby Johnson had 4. So just really well-rounded, and everybody hit the glass as a team, and that's been issues for us in different parts of the season, and we took care of business. I think we out-rebounded it by 10-plus last game, so that was huge.
Yeah, I know Brian and I mentioned, of course, I don't keep track of rebounds when I'm sitting up there calling the game, but we mentioned it, Brian and I did during the broadcast, that Bernadas had a lot of rebounds, and she did very well, and she did lead the team with 8, so that was interesting to see. And then, like you said, with Parker was 7. So, again, the girls did a good job crashing the boards.
Yep, good, well-rounded effort. And, the thing that kept Frazee in that game and kept it even a little bit closer at a 10-point game, as the final says, we turned the ball over a ton. The trap was good. We had 23 turnovers on the night. That's just not like this team. And that's kind of why I opened up with it. They said it too. So we just kind of got sped up and got a little panicked, And you can say that however many times in the halftime or in the timeout and say, girls, hey, we just got to take a deep breath, run our press break. We have it in place. You just got to execute, right? But that's always a lot easier said than done, right?
It's always
so, that was something we focused on today in practice, was breaking a little press and not trying to do too much with it. Don't over-dribble, because we were getting ourselves to the corners and kind of making that mistake, and Frazee was taking advantage of it because it's a darn good trap. So good one to learn from.
Absolutely, and congratulations on the win to the girls and you, Coach, as well. And all right, so speaking easier said than done, you got the number 1 team in the HOL coming to town on Friday in Perham. They're 10-0 in the conference. I don't know what their overall record was. I didn't research that, but I'm sure if they're 10-0 in the conference, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, they got 2 losses. They lost to Pequot Lakes last week. They hadn't lost since Christmas or a little bit before that, prior to that. So, just 2 losses on the season. Perham, I think I mentioned this maybe before, but Perham's one of the top teams in 2A. They are legit. Yeah. If I had to pick, they're my favorite going to the state tournament out of 8AA. They're just deep. They have shooters all over the place. They have a dominant post player. And they can D up, and they just guard you. They don't do anything fancy. They just get it done. And if they're shooting it well, they're tough to beat. So when they come to town tomorrow or on Friday, that's just something you gotta be aware of. We know Perham. We see them twice a year. There's back-to-back years there. I think we saw them in the first round of playoffs. Got them once, didn't get them the other time. So, we've played this team a lot the last couple of years. It's always a fun matchup for us. I think girls get up for that one too. And you know what you're going to get. You got to get out to those shooters. You got to rebound the ball and not give them second chances. And you got to just put the pressure on them and bring the fight to them on the offensive side of the ball. So,
all right. So we'll Three Borders Sports will be covering that one on Friday. Raleigh will have that call. I'll be over here in Wapaton doing the game here. Brian, you got anything else you want to ask Coach there or mention to him before we move on?
Let me produce here a little bit, and I just have, I guess, a comment, not necessarily a question, but I just feel like, your team with the level of competition that it plays and the schedule that you have in the HOL, I think you have your ups and downs. Like, it's hard to maybe go on a run, but those ups and downs are really going to help you? Or do you feel like they're going to help you?
I hope so. I think so. There's been, just a week or two ago, I think there's a point where this team was kind of down on themselves. Right? We had lost 4 out of 7 or whatever it had been, and they were coming in tough, and all of them were close. You lose a close one to you guys, you lose a tough one up and down kind of the stretch there in East Grand Forks again, even last Friday night. It's like, man, that's a tough one. And Barnesville the week before that, and again, it's not like you got to question the effort. I mean, they're out there hustling, and they're sometimes just catching bad breaks. I think I've been saying it for 3 weeks. I said we're not shooting the ball like we were to start the season, or like I think we can. Yep. We got shooters out there too. We got a good post presence. So it'll all come. I think that's the game of basketball, right? It's a game of ups and downs and runs and just not losing the confidence in the meantime. I think that's the biggest thing for these high school kids is sticking with it. It's going to turn around. Yeah. You just got to keep putting in the time and trust the process, as the Philadelphia 76ers say. And just you do have to, though. You just have to trust it and keep putting the work in, and it'll eventually, sorts itself out, and I think they're very much capable to do that and poised to do that. So
they're probably not going to see the value in those close losses against some of those upper teams until you get to the playoffs, and then you get in that situation again, and hey, we've already been through this, we're ready for it, we can go ahead and we can handle it, and we can push through and get over the hump.
And we've alluded to this back a lot of times because it's such a fun game, but Wheaton, I mean, if you can come back from that one, you can come back from any of them,
exactly.
right? So you got to keep that attitude.
Exactly.
And it was the same thing in East Grand Forks. I said it in the timeout with, it was 10 points with 3-4 minutes or whatever it was. I said, girls, don't give up now, because we've done crazier things already this season. So stick with it, and we gave them a good run. We just couldn't get enough stops in that situation. So, don't ever have to question the effort. Just got to continue to lock in and focus on those little things in practice to get 1% better each day. It's coming fast all of a sudden here. You only got 6-7 left, and you're in the playoffs.
There, 6 after tomorrow, or after Friday, excuse me. All right, and the good side of things, folks, is don't count these girls out. When you look at the QRF rankings, and Coach doesn't like hearing this, but you're number 11 in the QRF. So, I mean, they're right there playing as well as they could be.
Yeah, absolutely. And
right there.
When you look at the section standings, Breckenridge, Henning, Underwood, I believe, in that order.
Yep.
We're all, last week I think it was 10, 11, 12. We're 11 now, dropped down a spot. I don't know if we're still all right in that, but we're all right there. So these games are all pretty important down the stretch.
Yep. All right, we're going to wrap it up here again. Coach, congratulations on the win. Good luck Friday against Perm. We'll have that on Three Borders Sports Network. Raleigh will have that game for you. And good luck, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Head coach Austin Emdeck of the Cowgirls basketball squad. And I haven't seen Jordan walk in yet, so we might have Brian Watson up next.
I got one thing to mention, Joe. Forgot about it.
Yeah.
She just mentioned Friday is parent and senior night in the gym versus Perham. So we always want everyone to watch the stream and everything, but fill the gym in and show your respect to those seniors and the parents that allow those athletes to do what they do all year long.
I'm glad you mentioned that. So absolutely do that. So, go and attend the game, and you can always go home and watch it afterwards.
That's right. That's what I do.
All right, Austin Demdeck. We'll be right back here with either Brian Watson or Jordan Christensen coming up next year on Three Borders Sports.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota, or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Red River Human Services Foundation provides services to people with disabilities, which enhances their quality of lives and enable them to live, work, and develop relationships in their communities. Red River Human Services Foundation has multiple direct support professional positions available in their Wahpeton, Fargo, and West Fargo locations. Job opportunities include flexible scheduling, competitive wages, on-site paid training, and life experience. Voted #1 place to work for the past 5 years. Join their team and apply online at www.rrhsf.org. Red River Human Services Foundation supports all local area sports activities and wishes everyone the best of luck.
Since 1987, Red River Valley and Western Railroad has served North Dakota and Minnesota with over 500 miles of track. Red River Valley and Western handles shipping, freight car repair, storage options, and now transload services. With over 30 years of experience in the railroad industry, they know dependable service is what you strive for. Red River Valley and Western is proud to be a part of the community since 1987.
Right after school, I'm right into the workforce. I don't have to go looking for a job, and that's kind of what made me take a step forward into being a diesel tech at NDSCS. No looking back. My name is Eli, and I'm here for my future.
I'm the first kid in my family to have graduated from college. And then at NDSCS, they told me, hey, look, you can get credits for this, you can go further. So I start to see my horizon broaden up. I'm going to be pretty unstoppable. My name is Julie, and I'm here for my future.
A local insurance team ready to serve you. American Family Insurance, Miller & Associates, providing home, auto, life, farm, and business insurance. As residents of your community, they understand how important it is to be there for you, their trusted friends and neighbors. Together, they're building strong partnerships that help everyone succeed. American Family Insurance, Miller & Associates, a proud supporter of high school athletics.
And we hope to see you at American Family Insurance, Miller Associates.
Abby Johnson with the home run, just about to straight away center field.
Washing your car just got a whole lot cheaper. With All Seasons Car Wash Unlimited plans, you can wash your car whenever you want for as little as $33 a month. You can even wash your pet at All Seasons Car Wash. So this fall, keep your vehicle and your pet clean. Conveniently located at 1300 4th Avenue South next to Tractor Supply Company in Wahpeton. To enroll in an unlimited car wash plan, please visit allseasonscw.com.
All right, welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications and brought to you by the City Brew. Here we're seated high above the dining and bar area here in the City Brew. And on 4th Street and 2nd Avenue, the City Brew has got tomorrow, big day tomorrow. It's Giving Hearts Day here, February 9th. So a lot of folks looking for some donations, and actually here at the City Brew, the Richland-Wilkin County Humane Society is going to get a portion of the proceeds here from the City Brew tomorrow. So if you come down here tomorrow for lunch or your favorite beverage or whatever, a portion of the proceeds will go to the Humane Society. Then on the 14th, it's Valentine's Dinner, and check the Facebook page for more information on that, along with Globe Bingo on the 17th of February. Check the Facebook page. And then live music on the 16th with Brianna Helbling at 7 to 10 p.m. So a lot of things going on here at the City Brew. All right, Jordan, you made it over. Head coach of the Cowboys. Huh? Well, I thought you said something.
No, I said I did.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Christensen made it over here from the volleyball tonight, and I appreciate you coming in, buddy, here at the last second. He was puffing when he came in, and he made it down.
Well, it was volleyball then basketball, so it was a lot tonight. I was running around a little bit.
So it's a good thing you're in good shape.
I wouldn't say that.
Jordan Christensen joining us here. Again, Cowboys head coach. We got some Breckenridge people sitting down there. Again, some folks down there, and they're enjoying the night.
Jen and George are down there.
So George is waiting for Brian and I to finish so George can buy us a beverage or two as well. No, he laughed. I think he laughed at that.
Come on, I see him all day at work. I deserve a drink.
Yeah. We deserve something, George. All right, George, we appreciate you being here. And there's a slew of Wahpeton people over there, too. We got Brian Watson we're going to talk to next after Jordan. Jordan, let's go back. First of all, you had a big win last night, but let's go back a little bit here and talk about Friday's loss to Holly. The first half, again, you were back and forth and just couldn't quite come out with it at the end.
And it's the same story as the whole year. I thought we could play with Holly, and we did. We were down 17-5 and then ended up making it 25-25 off of a really good run. And then towards the end of the first half, we lost like the last 3 minutes of the first half, and all of a sudden, boom, what goes from like a 4 or 5 point game is now 11, and then it's hard to recover from that. And hopefully going forward in the year, we can get that figured out. But it was fun to see Dylan Bernatus had his first points, and Caleb Albertson hit his first 3. It was just a lot of cool things. Some cool things happened in that game, and then Alex had 16. He went to the hole really hard. They couldn't stay in front of him. That was good to see. Landon had 9 rebounds again. He struggled a little bit from the field. I mean, if we get a little bit more out of him like we normally do, we're right in that game down the stretch. We were just struggling shooting night, which is fine. Then Damon hit 3 threes. He went downhill first like we've been talking, and then got more open looks on the outside after that. But it was a good game. It's not like we're that far off with all these HOL teams, and once we start clicking, which hopefully last night got us clicking, we can start to steal a couple of those HOL ones.
When I read your notes that you emailed to me the other day, Coach, and I read that line there that Dylan and Bo and Caleb all got their first 3-pointers, I was especially excited for Dylan, of course, coming off the injury, and it's a big thing for him. I think, if I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he took a shot in the Ada Borup game when he first played on Saturday. Did he?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did. I don't think he shot. I don't think he took a shot.
I don't think he did.
And
either,
he didn't shoot against Park Christian.
Okay.
Either the Monday before. So I think that was his first. Might have been his first shot attempt.
Good for him. So again, congratulations. First of all, from the knee recovery, and then to him and Bo Byer and Caleb Albertson there with getting your first 3-pointers. That's a pretty cool deal. Again, Alex Sanchez did a good job underneath there controlling, and did a good job for you there.
Well, we just didn't make enough plays. I mean, that's a game. We can be competitive in that type of game, and once we get more stops and start figuring a few things out offensively, we'll be fine.
All right, so let's take a look now. We got to talk about the win last night, and just the big smile on your face when you walked in here tonight. I'm so happy for you, happy for the Cowboys. a big night and a big win for the Cowboys last night against Hillcrest.
The boys and everybody needed it. That was it was fun. I mean, the gym was rocking. I haven't seen it like that in a while.
No, that's cool.
We had parents' night, and we had the first through like third or fourth graders playing at halftime, so it was all sorts going on, but it was packed and loud, and our boys responded in a big way and played their best game of the year, I think.
Awesome. Again, Jackson had all kinds of three-pointers again. I think he was
3 of 5.
Yeah, there you go. I think it was 3 of 5. Yep, I think I saw that somewhere. And then Landon, of course, had his double-double.
He did. He did really well in the paint. I mean, Luke's 6'8" and long. I mean, Landon finished over him and did a really good job of that and just rebounded the ball, which we needed.
And I was told by my camera guy, Camden Kelson, that he said that, Joe, you should have seen it. Alex Sanchez had a couple of one-handed slams. So
he did.
Did he?
He put a couple down.
Good for him.
He got a steal at half court, and I think we were on, what was it? It was 23 to 21 and a half. We were down 2.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it's 27-23, and he puts one down with about 12 minutes left. And we were up then 29 to 23, and we went on a run. They didn't score the first 6 minutes of the second half. Our defense played
huge.
That was the best stretch of basketball we've played all year, and it came at the perfect time.
Good, and that is good, and you made the comment here too. Your bench guys did well what they were supposed to do. I see Kunkel was in there on the scoring side, and Cam had his usual 5, 6, 7, 8 points, and just everybody played well, so it was good for the Cowboys.
It was great, and defensively, I got to say, Alex and Cam were locked in last night, and when they're locked in the way they were, we can shut teams down defensively and hold teams to about 50 points, but just the way they handled their 2 ball handlers. Both of them were probably mismatched a little bit size-wise. Like the Brumfield kid and the Peterson kid from Hillcrest are both about 6'4", and Cam and Alex were guarding them and handled them really well. And it was great to see, and just our whole bench was into it. I mean, I saw a couple videos that people were posting, and just everybody was so excited. And it was great to see. Even the guys that didn't get to play, and
awesome.
It was fun.
Awesome. All right, so what does this do? And I know we're probably a little bit early in the season here, but you don't have that many single-A games left. I see you got a 6A game against Border West, and the only other one you have out of the 8 or so that you have left is a 8A game against Monoman-Waban, and all the rest are 2As. So, and I might be early in asking this question because I know Watson and Ralph hate it when I ask this question, but looking forward, the QRF must have helped you last night.
The QRF helped us big time, and I mean it's Minnesota, and that's how it is. Football, we got the short end of the stick, and hopefully in basketball we can get a few more AA games. We can get the right bounce on that one.
Yep. Because really in the section right now, you're in the middle of the pack. So, I mean, with the QRF helping you a little bit there, that might get you up.
And with the QRF in Minnesota, we've got tiebreakers. So we would have to, since we lost to Lake Park and lost to Park Christian, it'll be about 5 points ahead of them in QRF standings to stay ahead of them. Otherwise, this tiebreaker margin will bump us back down. So that's where it's going to really get interesting the last week of the season. It'll be crazy, but I was probably looking ahead too much, but if we can win a few of these AA games, we should have enough points to put ourselves in a good spot.
Awesome.
And I think we're totally capable.
I think you're very capable of doing that. Of course, I'm not going to name who you got left here. We'll not look that far forward, but I think the boys are going to do all right, folks. I think they're going to be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so now we got to look forward to Barnesville on Thursday night. So tomorrow night you're hosting Barnesville.
Yep, that'll be fun. They're tough. They're big. They got 2 guards that are really athletic. And then on the inside, Tate Iniger, I think he scored 3 or 4 touchdowns as a tight end in the state football championship. He's just a big dude in the paint. And we got to take care of him and then contain their guards, and then they run in transition like crazy. They're going, so we got to get back.
It's a quick game.
I think it'll be a fast game.
Okay, up and down.
Should be fun to watch.
Well, Brian and I will be there. I think tomorrow night we'll have that one on Three Borders Sports Network. It's going to be our exclusive game, so we'll probably have that on 125 too, I would assume, Brian. Huh?
I believe we will.
Yeah.
We will.
So we'll have that on 125 as well. So
it'll be a fun one.
To it. All right. Jordan, again, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you and the boys, and appreciate you hustling up here like you did.
Anytime.
All right, Jordan Christensen, Cowboys head coach, and we'll come back here after the break with head coach of the Lady Huskies, Brian Watson, right after this.
At OSPTI, our focus is on each individual's therapy needs, whether it be for speech, occupational, or physical therapy services. I'm Becky, a physical therapist at OSPTI, and I love being able to provide that personal care to each person that we see with clinics in Breckenridge, Hankinson, and Fergus Falls. You don't have to travel very far from home. From infants to athletes to adults, you can request OSPTI to meet your therapy goals.
No matter what time of year, a farmer's relationship with Red River Grain Hefty Seed never changes. Red River Grain Hefty Seed works shoulder to shoulder with area farmers to attain the highest possible profit for you. Red River Grain Hefty Seed has been saving farmers money for years. For all your grain and agronomy needs, stop in or call the friendly staff at 643-3738. Or visit them online at redrivergrain.com.
Your business depends on technology. Digital Guru provides professional IT solutions you can trust to keep it moving forward. From redesigning existing systems to brand new builds, we offer your business managed IT services, including backups, cybersecurity, cloud services, remote desk support, and more. And don't forget, we also provide audio, video, security camera, and door access control installation. Focus on what you do best and leave the technology to the professionals. Contact Digital Guru today.
And then there was two.
It's a long show.
Well, Ned, of course.
Well, yeah.
We had to talk to Ned.
There was a rumor that Ned talks more than the Wapton boys basketball coach. That's the rumor that I heard.
I didn't say that rumor. You might have said that rumor.
That's the rumor I heard.
But hopefully Ned's still down there because I think Ned's going to buy us around. When
yeah,
we get
there
done,
you go. There you go.
We're high above the City Brew here again on the Giants Coaches Show and powered by Red River Communications. And the City Brew's got a big Valentine's dinner day going on Valentine's and Glow Bingo. Check out their Facebook page. And then don't forget, tomorrow is Giving Hearts Day, and it's a big day. Also, I should probably mention this at the end, but tomorrow is also the Chamber of Commerce luncheon tomorrow.
That's right,
at noon, right here at the City Brews. So we'll talk about that at the end when we come back to wrap it up and put a bow on it. All right, Lady Huskies basketball, Coach, 1-1 since we last met. And last Friday, you took the travel up to Shanley to take on the Deacons, and we talked about it on the show, on the coaches' show, about how key of a matchup it was. You were the number 6 seed at the time. They're the number 5. They got you by points on the tiebreaker.
Yep.
So number 1, you had to beat them, and you had to beat them by a pretty fair amount. So it was a tough one, and you needed it.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I mean, if you look at the stats, you look at the score, you go, well, you didn't play so well. But some of the stats you look at, you go, geez, we actually played okay. We just couldn't get stops when we needed to get stops. We didn't shoot it real well. We shot 32% from the floor, but we didn't turn it over much. We only had 10 turnovers. They had 22 turnovers. So we forced a lot of turnovers. We didn't get a lot out of the turnovers that we had, that we forced, I should say. And then we didn't shoot well from behind the three-point line. And I think that little stat right there, we were 1 of 18, which is a lot of three-pointers for us. I think we took a few, ill-timed shots in this game. And they were 5 of 16 from behind the three-point line. That's something that we need to work on. We need to defend that three-point line a little bit better. But it's a hard place to play. We haven't had a lot of success in that gym. And I feel like, when we left there, I feel like we let one get away. And I keep saying that against some of these teams that we're playing.
Yep.
But I feel like we can play well enough to beat some of these teams. We didn't get it done on that night. So we're going to have to figure out a way to put together a full game, because I still feel like we're playing, bits and pieces here and there. We play a good half, and then we play a poor half, where we start out slow, and then we get things going. But for us, we've got to figure out a way to put it all together. We certainly got production. We got 3 girls in double figures in that game. Scout had 23, Emma had 15, and McKenna had 12. So we got some of that production that we needed. I just feel like we didn't get the stops at the right time. We had a chance.
Yep.
We were down 7 with about 2 minutes to go, 2.5 minutes to go, and then we cut it to 3. Got a steal, had the ball with about a minute to go.
Wow.
And we just couldn't put it in. We had a shot, and then we weren't able to put it in. Then we had a chance to defend and get a stop and maybe get the ball back, and we weren't able to do that. They end up hitting the 3, and they go on the win. So it's just situations like that we need to be able to execute. One, we get the steal, and then we need to score, and then we need to execute on defense as well. But I think, we hate to lose the games, but I think that's a situation that we can learn from, that we can get better, and I think, we can execute that later, maybe in the playoffs when we really need to.
Yeah, and again, just looking at the stats there, you mentioned the 1 of 18 for three-point land, and then also I noticed in the stats, too, that you had a slow start there the first half, and then you outscored them in the second half.
Yeah, we did, and it's kind of like, Coach Ralph talked about the boys getting off to a slow start. We have the tendency to get off to a slow start sometimes, especially on the road, for whatever reason it is. In that game, we only had 2 games. We didn't have our normal schedule. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but you've got to get yourself ready to play. It doesn't matter the situation, and we've got to do a better job of that. And hopefully here, as the regular season comes to a close, we're able to get off to better start.
Yeah, and when you say you weren't on your regular schedule, was it because it was a 6 o'clock start that night for the varsity?
Yeah, it was an early start for the varsity. We did not have a C squad game. So it's just different. We didn't have 3 games. Normally we start at 4:15. Then we get going. The varsity game starts about 7:15. So it's just different, and sometimes that kind of screw up your clock a little bit.
All right, so then let's fast forward now to last night, and last night you hosted Fargo North. As I mentioned here in the first part of our conversation, you went up and played the number 5 team. Well, now you're the number 6 seed right now, currently in the EDC. You're hosting the number 7 seed. So now again, you're trying to keep that separation.
Yeah, we had 2 games here, right back to back, of teams that are right around us, and we need to try and win both of them. We would win both of these games. That would have really, really helped us out. But we certainly needed to get this game against North.
Absolutely.
North is a team that can be a tough out. They shoot the 3-pointer really well. They have a lot of girls who can shoot the 3-pointer, and sometimes we have a problem defending the perimeter. But we put together a pretty good game. We got off to a decent start, had a little bit of a lull just before the end of half. I think we were up 24-11 just before the half, and then we went on one of those spurts where we couldn't score. And I think we were up 6 at halftime. And, second half was a lot better for us. We were a little more consistent. And, we were able to put some full court pressure on them, get them to turn the ball over. We can turn those into points. And we shot a decent for us from the perimeter. We shot 29% from the floor, but we shot 38% from 3-point land. So that's for us to knock down 5 threes. That's good for us. Got to the free throw line a bunch of times. Didn't shoot it as well as we wanted to from there. But, those team stats, when we can knock down some outside shots against a team that's playing zone, that helps us. We can get them to play some man-to-man. Now we can get to the free throw line. That's what we want. And we were successful with that against Fargo North.
One of the things that I looked at when I looked at the stats today, Brian, was actually the amount of 3-point. I think I even made a comment during the broadcast between Noel and I last night, Noel Eckroth. I made a comment about how many 3-point field goals that they attempted for Fargo North, but you and I don't go back and look at all the stats like you do, but that didn't surprise you.
No, that's what they do. They are a 3-point shooting team. They don't have a lot of size. They do have one big girl 6 foot inside, but their mission is to drive, kick, shoot a 3. or to come down in transition and pop a three. And when it's going, it is tough to stop. They played a game early in the season against Devils Lake, and they could not miss. And they were knocking. It was at home, but they were knocking them down. Now they didn't shoot well against us. They got off 30 of them.
30. Yeah.
They shot 17%. They made 5. We also made 5, so we neutralized them. But they only shot 19% from the floor. And we shot 29%, which isn't great, but we won the 3-point battle actually by shooting 38%. We didn't take a lot of them. We shot 13 of them, but for us, they were good shots within rhythm, within our offense. They were inside out, and those are the ones that we like, and those are the ones that we have a tendency to make.
And then your usual 3 again, Brian, at the top of the scoring board there for the Lady Huskies. McKenna with 18, Emma with 14, and Scout with 11.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because it could be any one of those 3, and it could be some of the other players too, depending on what happens. But you can shuffle those guys around, and they're going to be 1, 2, 3, and maybe we have 4 and 5 in there sometimes.
Yep.
It's a tough go, and they're right around each other as far as overall leaders for scoring in the EDC. In that 9, 10, 11 range.
Yeah. They're all in the top 11, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
going to be tough come voting time for a team like ours that's in the middle of the pack to see if we can, get some girls some individual accolades. We'd like to see that happen. We feel like we have some girls who are worthy of those. We'll just have to see what happens come the end of the season.
All right, so right now you're sitting at about 2.5 here, according to the EDC standings right now. You got about a 2.5 game lead here on Fargo North, so you obviously own the tiebreaker yet too.
Yeah, we do own the tiebreaker, but they have a 2-point game coming up with Shanley.
Okay, so that's a big game.
That's a big game for them, and we'll have to keep our eye on that one. They win that game, they get 2 more points right away, and we feel like we have some games here to finish out the season that we should be able to compete and get a couple wins. So we just have to stay solid, worry about the games that we play. We have to worry about the game that's next. We can't worry about what anybody else does. We just have to take care of our own business, and if we can do that, I think we can hold this position here in 6th and then host a play-in game, and hopefully that goes our way. That'll certainly be the only game on our mind if we get to that point, and then see what happens after that.
There you go. And then now you talk about what's coming up next, and it's going to be up next is Grand Forks Central. They're sitting down toward the number 10 spot in the EDC right now, Brian, but they can beat some teams too. So again, you got to travel up there.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I think you go 5 and down in the EDC, and I think anybody can beat anybody on a given night. And there's still some teams that can reach up and beat some of those teams at the top.
Sure.
But regardless of record, I think that there's games in there. We saw that against Central the first time. We got off to a slow start. They came down here to try and get a win. I think we're going to have to go up there and be ready to play, get off the bus and be ready to play. And if we're not, we're going to be in for a long battle, and it's a game that we can't let slip through our hands. We need to get that one and keep pace here and hold this spot that we have so we can have that advantage as we move into the playoffs.
All right, there you go. There's the words from head coach of the Lady Huskies, Brian Watson. Again, a big win against Fargo North to secure that number 6 spot for the time being, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them to do yet. So good luck to you and the Lady Huskies.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. We're looking forward to it here.
All right, Brian and I will be right back here. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll wrap it all up, and we'll let you know what's going on, and we'll do that right after these messages on Three Borders Sports Network.
You know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota, or that we've been around for over 60 years. How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/.
Every business begins with an idea. With dedication, hard work, and high-speed broadband, that idea can grow into something giant. The member organizations that form BAND are proud to support North Dakota businesses every step of the way, from the soil to the stadium. The Broadband Association of North Dakota, helping North Dakotans grow bright ideas into big business.
Welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show here, powered by Red River Communications, brought to you by the City Brew. Again, tomorrow is Giving Hearts Day. Don't forget to stop by the City Brew tomorrow and have your lunch or a beverage or a snack or whatever, bowl of soup. And some of the proceeds of that will go toward the Richland-Wilkin County Humane Society. Then on the 14th, Valentine's Day, check their Facebook for more details. 17th is Glow Bingo. Check for more details on Facebook as well. And on the 16th of February, live music with Brianna Helbling right here at the City Brew. B-Dub, we're going to put a wrap on this one. And
it's been a good one. It's a long one. We appreciate Ned coming in to talk to us. And, it's good.
He's very... All right, I don't know if he's listening down there or not, but very well-spoken, and he knows what he's doing. Come on now, be nice.
He's okay.
All right.
He's okay.
All right.
I guess I got to be nice to him.
Yeah, you should, maybe.
Yeah.
He might have some of that.
He might have a little bit. Yeah, I know.
Signing the paycheck thing
I
for you.
I know.
All right, Thursday, tomorrow, you and I will be over in Breckenridge tomorrow. We'll have Cowboy basketball against Barnesville, and that'll be at approximately 7:30. It might be a little early, might be a little late, so stick with us. So we'll have that tomorrow. Then on Friday, Brian's heading up to Grand Forks Central, but I'll be in Wahpeton for the Grand Forks Central boys taking on the Wahpeton Huskies. And then Raleigh and Camden will have the Cowgirls taking on Perham on Friday night in Breckenridge. And
it never stops, Joe.
And then I think I might be...
I don't want to hear about it, and I don't think anybody else wants to hear about it, too.
You guys will be busy.
Yeah, you're going somewhere where it's warm. You're taking a little vacation.
Yep.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's all right.
All right.
I still think you need to go to the golf tournament, though. It'll be an experience of your life. I'm just telling you.
Goodness me.
Phoenix
I
Open.
heard that.
Phoenix Open. I've been there. You should go.
One of the people that I'm going down to see that'll be there, he's already there.
Oh, man.
He was there yesterday. I guess it's free admission on Tuesdays.
Is that right?
I guess so. That's what he said.
I don't know. I mean, it's a blast. It is an experience without... I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. If you've been to any other golf tournament and you go to this one, you'd be like, why did I go to the other one? I need to just go to this one. So
well, maybe next year, but Super Bowl Sunday, we'll be watching Super Bowl out there. And if the Vikings were going to go, I might have bought a ticket somehow, way, shape, or form. But come on now.
Keep holding your breath.
All right, Barnesville tomorrow. Brian and I will be there. Then Friday we got the doubleheader with the Cowgirls and Perham. And then the Huskies will take on the Central Knights. Anything else?
No.
All right, thanks everybody for being on the show tonight, including Ned Cluten tonight. And for Brian Watson, Raleigh Julie, I'm Joe Schreiner. Good night, everybody.